Ooh. Hey, what's up? Oh, geez, it's just 3 p.m. Right on it. Right in time. What's up, everyone? Renako here, chilling out. Having a cozy Sunday. Having mood to feeling like I wanted to do a video about me yapping about the Nintendo Direct and also as to why there's a lot of people skeptical about their Nintendo Switch 2 buy. And why a lot of fans are like super unsure about the future of what Nintendo's gonna give. I don't know why, but I feel like I see a lot more negative impact on social media than anything else so far positively about the Nintendo Direct or any games they're announcing. Me personally, first of all, I want to say it. I personally enjoyed the Direct for what it did. There's few indies and turf party games I'm not super interested. There's only the exception of Hades 2, because they announcing Hades 2 is getting a physical release on the Switch 2, full cartridge, and I'm looking forward to that. So it's definitely going to be my November buy game, that's for sure. But I feel like a lot of Hades 2 was really great as an announcement. Metroid Prime 4 having a release date is really fantastic. I'm really looking forward. That's gonna give me an opportunity to just finishing Metroid Prime 2, playing Metroid Prime 3 for the first time on stream around October before release of Prime 4. It would be really cool. But yeah, I find those announcements were really cool. And there's also the Fire Emblem, which I really like too. The Fire Emblems are fine. Like, a lot of people seems to be really disappointing at this final announcement. Me personally, I'm really freaking happy about it. To know that I bought a Switch 2 for Fire Emblem as well. Not only for Metroid, but most likely it's going to be for a lot of first party games for the Switch 2 and third party games if they get physical release. But to know that they're making a Fire Emblem game right on the bat of after a year of release of the Switch, it's always a good sign. I think it's always a good idea to release those games. Specifically, it's really popular in Japan. Yeah, it's really popular in Japan. A little bit more in the West, but not much compared to Japan. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people were super disappointing over the final announcement of Fire Emblem. And yeah, and that same goes with Metroid Prime 4. A lot of people seems to be skeptical because they didn't see one segment of the video about some kind of segment overworld, which people seems not too hype about. and and me personally, it's like it's just a trailer. It tries to sell you out. It tries to turn you down. Maybe not even an open world. Who knows? I just think a lot of people are just really, really, really way too much over dramatic or having exaggerations. But I don't blame people for doubting because it's been a long time in development, Metroid Prime 4, right? People have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 for so long, so like when you're waiting so long in a game like that, you can obviously see a lot of people be super disappointed, right? Me personally, I'm gonna try. Like, that's the thing, right? When Prime 4 it will be around the week of Prime 4. I'll try to get off of the internet as much as possible because Jesus, it's gonna be wild spoiled. There's gonna be people having the broken street date of having the game earlier. And yeah, I don't want to get spoiled so easily this time. That's the scary thing about it, right? Like, anywho, and I think honestly that like that Nintendo kind of like did a lot of things that like kind of ish people too as well, like the DLC pay Pokemon and DK. DK is like what, like $25 Canadians or $30 Canadian, I believe. The DLC for Donkey Kong, like so expensive. Things like the new Hollow Knight game came out, right? The new Hollow Knight game is probably at the most same prices as this thing. And I think the Hollow Knight game has more value than the Donkey Kong DLC, I'll be honest. That's kind of sad to tell, but yeah, they probably lose on me on this DLC. And I'm really enjoying Bonanza. Bonanza was fun, but yeah, it was not a really good way to introduce DLC into this start. And there's the Pokemon DLC, and the Pokemon AZ Switch 2 edition, and then after that they bring it up another paid DLC. I think the paid DLC segments are what kind of broke people's mind, because games hasn't got released and those DLCs are already set to stone. I'm like, it's almost like Nintendo banking on their fans to just buying it day one, right? It's crazy when you think about it. Like, but they're banking it so hard right now. And yeah, it's doesn't look really good when you look at it customer side, because it feels more like, you know, they're giving good for the people who are really fan of it. But if I was a fan of Pokemon and I'm like super skeptical about the recent upcoming AZ Pokemon, it would definitely not be like, I won't buy that DLC first. You have to give me something that it's really fun. No, I have to play the game. I have to see the presentation, see if I'm having fun before buying other more content of it, right? Because if you're buying all of it, and then after that you're like an hour or two into the game, even 3 hours into the game, and you're disappointing for the rest of it, kind of like super regrettable as buying this. It's terrible feeling. But yeah, the Virtual Boy, by the way, aka the most worst selling console of all time in Nintendo, aka the most guilty pleasure of Nintendo. This is like the meme Nintendo thing that Nintendo like to do as meme, because they like praising the Virtual Boy as a guilty pleasure. Uh, I'm not much into that, but yeah, it's yeah, I get the gag, but that stuff is so expensive. Like having a box making like the Virtual Boy, it's like, eesh, I'm not interested in that. I'm not really interested in the Virtual Boy presentation. But yeah, I feel like it could have gone probably better. But yeah, other than that, I feel like the Nintendo Direct was okay if there's games that you like, and it's okay to dislike the Nintendo Direct for things that people was expecting to, because I feel like people are having too much expectation when it comes to a company such as Nintendo because of their brand. And what I mean by that is, I feel like the more you look at it, the more it's like, oh, they're gonna release Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. They're gonna release a new IP, I'm sure, and so on. And people are just like, oh no, it's just a Fire Emblem, a Yushi game. Oh yeah, the Yushi game. Think about it, right? I feel like people are forgetting the Yushi game, right? Funny, like the Yushi game looks pretty chill. Looks like a cozy game, honestly. But yeah, I feel like people were focusing on the negativity there. Like they completely forget the Yushi game. They were more into the man, Fire Emblem to ending. Oh, Metroid looks kind of weird. And then the Virtual Boy, yeah, the Virtual Boy didn't help out the expectation of the Nintendo Direct there. I do agree, but yeah, that's pretty much what I can think about it. For the people out there, what do you think about the Nintendo Direct? Me personally, I enjoyed it. I'm really happy about the games I'm gonna get. Hades 2, Metroid Prime 4, the Mario Galaxy bundle, because I've played Mario Galaxy but never got a chance to finish it yet, so, and I don't have it on in the Wii, so Might as well get it switched. So yeah, and there's Metroid Prime 4, Galaxy bundle, Hades 2. Yeah, I'm repeating the same ones I've said, but and there's the Fire Emblem. But the Fire Emblem, it's like I was pretty confident they're gonna make a Fire Emblem, but I feel like this is the big letdown for a lot of people who are not fan of Fire Emblem. I feel like a lot of the people who bought a Switch 2 right now, who are not fan of Fire Emblem, are just like, okay, what did I buy a Switch 2 for? Not to replay the Switch games, right? Which technically is what Nintendo wants you, right, to do. And a lot of people will probably argue me in the comments or something like that. I just want to say that. But Nintendo wanted you to buy a brand new hardware machine so you can play the same thing all over again. It's like the Wii U all again. And people will say, but it's not the Wii U. Yeah, you're right. It's not the Wii U. The Switch. And the Switch 2. But they want you to buy the Switch 1 games to play on the Switch 2. You know? That's what they want. They don't want you to use your Switch. Well, yes, technically they want you to use a Switch, but you know, the ideal is to buy this machine so you can play the same thing you already played on the previous machine with a brand new system that put a lot of new games that the other machine didn't. Yeah, so yeah. You know, a lot of people are gonna say, Mick, what you say is not making sense. That's perfectly fine, but I'm talking about like as somebody who's been fan of Nintendo for a while. Obviously, I like Nintendo, by the way, but Nintendo is like having a lot of terrible decisions recently. I feel like Nintendo is doing a lot of terrible things, as always. The reason why I like Nintendo is because of their brand, pretty much, pretty easy. But yeah, yeah. Let me know about the comments. What do you think about this Nintendo Direct? I'm curious to see how you all feel about it. But yeah, take it easy. Have a good weekend, everyone. Treat yourself well. Be nice. Bye.